Hi, it's Jess here. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to my new subscribers as well. I want to thank everybody who does subscribe to me. I recently hit 7,000 subscribers, which blew me away. So thank you ever so much. If you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. It does make a difference to our channels on YouTube, our subscriber numbers. So today I'm going to do Roxy's weekly challenge. So this is the second time I've done Roxy's weekly challenge. So this one's week 6. I did week 5 and I think I put that video out at the weekend. So I am I'm doing this one. So I watched it on Friday when she published it. So Roxy's Creations, that's Rachel, and she does a challenge every Friday, and it runs for the week, and lots of people join in. So you can search hashtag watch Roxy's weekly challenge. I think I've put the hashtag down in the description bar, and you can see what everybody else has made. So this week it's a document wallet, and I just loved it, and it's just a nice thing. You could send it to somebody, a bit of happy mail, or I thought was a good idea is if you make a journal and you make it a bit like a naked journal, so not very many embellishments, and then you can stick this in it, and then people have got things that they can use in it. So I've made a little policy fastener to sort of close it. I've just put, that's a fake coin. That was on a bracelet I got in a charity shop, and I've just attached it there to some burlap string, and then it just opens up, and inside we've got lots of documents and other things. That I say, if you made a naked journal, then people have got things here that they can add to the journal, use to make ephemera, and you know, to embellish their journal, or just, you know, take the document and stick it in a pocket, you know, write on whatever. What I've used as the base for this is a Tracy Fox digital. I think this is from a vintage ephemera or dark ephemera, not for ephemera, compendium. She's got loads of, excuse me for sneezing, loads of compendium series. I've just got the vintage and dark one as well, and then I just added some bits that I stamped on some scraps of paper and some Tracy labels there on the back. So in it I've got, so I think some of these are old design shop, that's some vintage paper, there's a little notepad from my own stash, that's a Greek book that I recently bought. I just thought it was quite interesting to have Greek. This is, I think, from the same book, but it was just plain like that. Bit of Edith, some vintage music paper from a book I've got, which is well over 100 years old. This is from the shorthand typing book that I've got. I think it's from the 50s. I just love the end because it's ring bound at the top, so you rip the pages out and you get that. This is a vintage, one of them. I'm losing my words. It's a ledger. And it's 1901, I think, was the earliest, you know, entry. There's only one page that had entries on. The rest are all plain. And then we've got some. That's from Artie May's French ephemera, I think. Although I'm not sure. No, I think this might be, oh, design shocks. It's coffee dyed on the back. So I think I might have coffee dyed it, unless I've printed coffee dyed paper on the back. I can't remember now. I did it a while ago. And then this is an old encyclopedia, an old map. And that's it. So I made this one immediately after watching Rachel do it. I've used Brad's for the closure. And so I'm going to make it again. I'm going to make a few changes, I think. I'm going to make two. So I'm going to make one in the sort of same way using some of this Tracy Fox paper. And then I'm going to make one with a leather cover. So I've got loads of these like sample books for upholstery. So I've got several, one this size, one a smaller size, that have got leather in it. So they're like those like Chesterfield sofa things that you can get. So they're like a leather sort of chair or sofa, and then the cushions are made out of like tweed. So I've got some Harris tweed as well. It's really exciting. So got these in my local charity shop. I think I paid £1.25 for each book, but it's real leather. It smells gorgeous. It's got these bits on. I might try and soak some of them off. This one's not come off, so I think I'm just going to cover that with something. But I'm going to cut this up and I'm going to use that. So that's going to be my second one. No idea if that's going to turn out. I just thought it would look nice if it was leather. So I have gathered a load of bits piled up right next to my ink pads, which are now all on the floor. So just bear with, just pick them up. They're all right now. So I just thought I'd give you a little look-see at what I did. So they're all prepared, but I took, so this is, I think this is Old Design Shop, and it was just one when it's at the same size. Let's see the one that's slightly bigger. So in the digital, yeah, that one's slightly bigger. In the digital, it was like that. So I did 2 to a page, and it also had the back of it on it, which I think is pretty cool. I do like to print things on the back. I don't like leaving them clear. I like them to look like they really are the actual document. This one's a misprint because you can slightly see the other side through it, because these would have been on really thin paper, which is why they're all printed on ordinary copy. It's 80 GSM, but you can just see there the back side of the title, but when you turn it the other way, the title's up there. So this is a misprint, but that's okay. I'll use it in collage, but I just thought I'd show you what I did. So I just printed them. Sometimes when you get digitals and they're double-sided, I feed them in and then you take it out and you feed it back in. My printer prints on the bottom side, so this would have come out the printer like that. My printer doesn't make that noise, but I used to have one that did. I had a dot matrix printer. It's a nightmare. And then so then I would have just took it out and then I'd put it back in the paper drawer that way, and then it comes out that way. I just turned it the wrong way. So sometimes it's easier than others. This one, I think, broke the rules. I'm not sure. But as I say, I can use this in a... it's really difficult now. You can't actually see what I'm doing, can you? Because I'm leaning on top of that. I did do, whilst I was doing getting all the documents ready, I did do a time lapse of me getting them ready. So I might pop that in. So there we go. I like to use my ruler because you get like a fluffy edge. The sort of like the fibres of the paper is broken, and it doesn't matter if you ripped a bit, because that just adds to it looking all old. And so then when you ink, then you get I don't want to do that one. Walnut stain, I think I use on this one, or soft suede. I try and sort of look at the colour of the ink that's been used in there. I'll try and sort of match it up so it's sort of like a similar colour. I've treated myself to some more Distress Oxide. And so I've got Walnut Stain, Brushed Corduroy now, and Vintage Photo, and I've got a pinky one, a something rose, I think, which I thought was quite nice. So yeah, so that's what I do, obviously around the both sides. Look, if you've like there, I've got a bit of a misprint there, not, you know, it's sort of moved, so I'm actually going to take that bit off. I'm not that precious about it. I do like Stampin' Up soft suede as well. So there we go. So went round it like that. There we go. You get the picture, and you can see where it's been folded, and it sort of corresponds on the other side. So what I do is take my ruler, take a bone folder, put it along where the crease is, go along like that. Same with that one, because these are like creases made like 100 years ago or more, depending on the date. What have we got on here? 1860. And then I just fold it the way I actually want it to fold. So they're not even folds, I say, because they were made all those years ago. And then I give it a bit of a crease, and then I just emphasize, even though it's got the color in it as if it's been folded, I just add a little bit of extra, and then you do get a little bit of a mark on the inside. So I'll go over that. If it doesn't have fold marks, I just make my own sometimes. So there we go. And sometimes then I just give it a little bit of a crumple up, so adds to it looking old. And then I might just then go over a tad, picking up some of those bits that are raised. So we got a little bit of extra agedness about it. So that's how I do my documents. There we go. So I might add the time-lapse bit now so you can see how I did them all. So as I showed you just now, I just used my ruler to rip the bits up, and then there was like, because I put it on the back, there were bits left over, so I've made scraps. Using my scissors there, that was like a letter, so proper roughed up the edges. That one there, you just see me, I just glue sticked together something, because it was like on both sides on the same sheet. Here I am again. I'm using a sort of a pinky colour because it kind of went with the paper. A lot of these are Artie May's French ephemera kit, which I really like. And she had these 2 letters in, so they're printed double-sided. And there I was just folding it up to show how you could in fact fold it out, and that'd be nicely tucked in a pocket. So that's the same one as I've already showed you how I did that one. Yeah, so yeah, just a bit of folding, a bit of distressing, a bit of inking, and that's me adding some folds there and inking on just parts of the folds in some places, not all of it, where it might have been on a desk for years. Right, and then, oh, when I was trimming, I got all these lovely scraps. So I'd printed sort of some on the back of the documents. I printed this. They're only on one side, but they'd be great in collages or stamping on to make embellishments like the one that I've got on here. So these ones, and these ones are using my stamps, so I can create little embellishments with my stamps as well. So I kept them for that. But if not, they're nice strips. They would do for last week's Roxy's Weekly Challenge, wouldn't they? So quite simply, so I chose this because I thought, because what you do is you kind of do a tri-fold, and I thought that would be nice on the front, and it's fairly plain on the back, which I thought that would be lovely too. So she just did a little lip over. I did a much bigger lip on my first one, but I'm just doing a little one now. Roxy actually did the full trifold when she did it at this stage, and then realised that actually she normally waits and does it after, so I'm waiting. So I've got a great big pile here of things I can use. I've got an Edith Holden, that's from that typewriting book. I've got loads of documents that I have got ready that I can use, different sizes as well. And I say that one I put the crease in. This one, that one was a really dark colour, so I kind of matched it with, this is a scan of like the inside of a book page, which I thought went quite well. I try and do that, I try and match up. This one, these are lovely, these are from Martin May's kits, and you've got the back of the letter on the other side. How cool is that? And actually Roxy had some like this, and she used them, some of these, as the outside of the document wallet, which is also very cool. So I like that, and I used my new rosy colour on that one. What was it called? Tattered Rose, because I thought it brought out the pink. There's sort of like a pinky tinge to that, which I liked a lot. Another document there, which I just printed some grungy paper. I think that was Tracy Fox has got a set that's like grungy paper. This one was Old Design Shop, and it had your document, and then it had the back of it, which was some more like ledger paper, which I quite liked. So I kind of did these in two piles, and now I've messed them all up. So that's that. Picked out some, I didn't want to use that. This one was, it printed, so that was open on a page, and then I just stuck it together, but it's now too thick, so I'll have to use that one for someone else. Some more book page, some music paper, and then that's my ledger paper that I've got. So you can see how huge my ledger sheet is. So I sort of cut it down to sort of be more or less A4 size, and then I've got this for another one. So just want to gather what I want so that they go under there like that. We've got a bit of music paper, stick that in there. So I say you could send this in Happy Mail, and then somebody's getting a bundle of ephemera that they can use in a journal. I like that because it's plain on the other side. Put that side in because that's cute. Or if you popped it in with a naked journal, then they've then got it to use it however they want. So you can use it for collage and whatever like that. Shall I put, oh, that one's a different size. Should we go that? Is that enough? So I've got one. Oh, I was going to put a letter in, so I did two letters, didn't I? That's quite cool. So I haven't counted, but I will now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've put 9 things in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I haven't got one of them in, have I? No, because I can't see the end. Yeah, that'd be 10. Could do an even dozen. Put one of them in. I'm not sure if that makes an even dozen because I've completely forgotten how much that was. So there we go. That's my documents. Now all of these are shorter than this. On the one that I made, some of them were longer and wider, and you can either trim it off, or like I did, as you can see, I had a much bigger lip on this one. What I did was I just folded them up when they were too long. Just folded them up at the bottom so they fitted in. And I think, did one of them I fold in the side? Yeah, and I folded that one in the side as well. So it doesn't matter about them not being the right size. So you want to, as you can see, I did holes and brads, and I did it so that whichever was the narrowest, they went in through that, so the holes would go one there and one there to make sure that they were all caught in. If that one was the widest, I could go that wide, but I have bunged one of these in. Now I could put it that way and then I could go wider. I might do that. Yeah, let's do that. Do it, Jess, do it. It's a really good idea. So I got my crocodile to make a little hole for, I did do it wider last time, so I'm going to just, because I quite like it to be even, I'm going to go to 1/4 inch there. And we're going to go there. I'm looking because I can see that one's shorter. Kadung. And then one in there. Kadung. There we go. So that's them. And then I'm going to get my brads, which I haven't got out because that would have been organised, wouldn't it? Right, so I got my brads there. I've done this on double time, and I'm going to do a voiceover because it got very loud, very long. So they're very shiny, brassy, goldy colour brads, and I want them to be a little bit more vintage. So I'm going to colour them with my Stampin' blends, alcohol markers. So I'm using the bronzer there just to go over it. Just to give it a little bit of an age. I sometimes do this with alcohol inks as well. I watched Tracy Fox do that, and that's a really good way. You can do like a big batch in one go. But if you've only got a couple, this is quite quick. Alcohol markers dry really quickly. So yeah, and now I'm just going over with the light black. So Stampin' Up blends, alcohol markers. They so I'm just showing you the difference to show that it's making a difference. I'm not quite sure how that's coming up on camera. Yeah, so they do a light and dark shade of each of the colours, and so this is the light black, and I just thought that was quite nice. That just blending it there with the bronzer, it just give it a little bit of an antique-y look. So I'm only doing the top because there's no point in doing the tails because they'll be open up, so it's the inside, so I have to wait till it's in there. So I'm gonna push these through, pushing them from the back because that's the bit that's going to be seen. So just going through there like so, and then I've just remembered that I haven't inked, so I'm just going round all the edges there quickly, with some ink because I like to ink. Rachel on Roxy Creations, don't think she does much inking, but that's my preference. You do you, whatever you like. I have recently done a project that is that I didn't ink at all, and it's so much quicker. But hey ho. And because I've moved the things, I've had to then find the hole then. But that's not too taxing. So yeah, just poke them through, find the holes that I've made. Obviously, I wouldn't have had to do this if I had inked it. And you can put a clip to hold them in place when you're doing the holes. I think I did that originally, and I just didn't do it for this one. So there we are. Now I'm just going to go over the tails. I mean, they are actually quite old looking. You know, the whatever they coat it in didn't actually go through fully on the inside, so didn't necessarily need to do that, but I have. So now I'm just looking at how I want it sort of folded over. I chose this paper because I liked that for the front, and then I remembered, oh yeah, no, that's going to be on the front as well. So just moving it a bit so I can see that blue. I quite like that sort of bluey greeny colour in it. So it's actually a little bit bigger than the other one, but it doesn't matter because they'll all be different sizes in reality. So then I'm just using my bone folder to give it a good burnish down. And I was trying to experiment then if I did want to open it the other way, and I don't. So then I'm just going to ink those bits there that would be, if you used it in reality, it would get dirty. So it would be sort of dirty around the edges and dusty from sitting on desks. So that's that. And there's all my bits on the inside that are all nicely caught in. So now we need a closure. I'm going to use a little document closure. So I'm going to put a little circle on there. That's why I'm frantically pointing. So now I'm trying to decide what I want. I'm trying to find something card-like. I find a little bit of scrap paper, but that's not going to be thick enough. And then I spy a little bit of craft card, so that's perfect. So I'm cutting two so that it's nice and strong, and then I decide to get that paper back, that scrap of paper back, and that's one of the offcuts. It's only HGSM, and so sometimes the punches, it doesn't like thin paper. So I should have put another bit of paper with it and it would have punched perfectly, but I've just finished it off with some scissors, and it doesn't matter, it's junk journal, so it never bothers me having slightly rough edges. So then I'm deciding, I could stamp on that. So that's Ranunculus Romance, one of my favourite stamp sets for Stampin' Up. Very good for fringy projects. And you've got this little bit of like ledger. So stamping that on there, and it looks like I've just taken it from a document. So it's also got a handy postmark on it, which is another, and a lovely label. So there I am with my soft suede. So I stamped it in soft suede, and I'm just going around the edges in soft suede so it all matches nicely. Going around the other discs as well. Probably would have been quicker if I'd have like stuck them all together, and then I'd have only had to ink once. But you know what Thought did. So there we go. If you don't know what Thought did, it thought its feet were hanging over the edge of the bed, so it got out and had a look. So anyway, just going to glue them together. So I've got 3 layers there, so that will be nice and thick, nice sturdy disc for doing the policy folder. And then we will put a hole in it. So just sticking that round. And talk amongst yourselves whilst we fiddle with it. God, if I hadn't double timed it, that would have took ages. There we go. So that's going in about there. So now I'm going to get my crocodile to put the hole in the middle. It's an inch circle, so I'm going to put that to 1/2 inch so that I know I'm punching in the middle. And then I need to make a hole in the middle for the brad. So I'm getting a little bit of foam there to go under it, and then I'm going to get my pokey tool to poke the hole so that the brad could go through. I do have the big bite, but this works just as well. If I was putting a eyelet in it, I'd have needed a big bite, which would have been an option, but I just wanted it to match with the other brads that I've put in. So now I'm going to get a bit of string, this is jute string. It's thin. I've got a thicker one, but I want a thin one. So just going to do a little knot there to hold it in place. And then you see me showing my short-term memory is snipping that off. And now I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to put the string away now, and forgetting it was still attached. What a Burke. So yeah, I am laughing at this point at myself now. I have to laugh at myself because I'd cry sometimes. So yeah, just winding it round 3 times and then going round that circle a few times and then snip the end off. There we go. And then I wanted a little dangle on the end, so I'm using this little kit I bought for, it's sort of use it for making jewellery, but I bought it to make dangles, and it's got this little bit on the end that kind of wraps round the end of the string. I've remembered then I need one of the rings as well, jump rings, and I've got to colour them, so I'm doing that in the same way. And so yeah, it winds around the end of the string, and then it gives you a hole that you can attach things to. So I thought that was quite genius. It's like for making necklaces, so that you can join them if you make them like with leather thongs. And yeah, I don't know how long it'll last, but we'll see, won't we? If it comes off, it comes off, and I'll know not to do it again. Oh, there's me showing you a dangle that I made. That's why I bought them, was to make dangles. Cost probably about as much money as a dangle, but then I can make lots, and I do tend to lose them. I bought one for Christmas 2021. By Easter 2022, I had no idea what it was. So yeah, so that's me. So yeah, so you just pinch the ends. So there's 2, they fold in on, so it's like a trifold, and it clasps it together. So then I'm going to get me. I'm just retouching there. There was bits I hadn't managed to cover. So then I just need my little jump ring. So I'm getting my little tool out. There's a little ring in here, and it just opens it out. Do you know what? YouTubers are such enablers. I watched Julie from Camellia Crafts use this, and I was like, I'm going to get that, and so I did. I went and bought it. And the little tools I'm using, I saw Tracy Fox use them, and she said they're cheap as chips. Found them, bought them. They were. So yeah, if I didn't watch YouTube, I might have some money in my bank. But there we go. So there's me just looking for those coins. They came off a bracelet. They're faux coins, not real coins, but they're nice because they've got like a loop at the top, so that helps for attaching it to things. So just getting that all together, and then I've got to close my ring to make it secure. And that's how I got my little dangly bit on the end of that string. And I quite liked that, because sometimes you put dangles on the end of things and then you've got to tie the string, and I just think it looks a slight mess. So now we're going to decorate. So I've got a few labels, including Tracy labels, which I managed to drop on the floor, and there they are. So I have been stamping. So this is a box there of unfinished ephemera. So at the weekend I just got some scrap pieces of paper. I got a stamp set that I just recently got off eBay that have got all these wonderful little bits of light documents and whatever on them, and I thought they'd make cool cluster things and collage stuff. So yeah, so I'm just looking now for Tracy labels to go with those, and then I'm just going to ink round them all and stick them down. And I think that just sort of adds a little bit of something to the outside of that document. I mean, it's already decorated because it's a principle, but no harm in shoving extra things on. Kind of makes it your own then, doesn't it? So just gluing that down. So that's my little glue pot. I managed to make the glue dry a little bit last time I used it. It's got Collall glue in it, so glue widely available in the UK, and I love it. I mean, I think glue's very personal, you know, use what glue you like. I like this one. I find it strong and it doesn't wrinkle the paper, so that's what's important to me. So now I'm just going to turn it over, and I decided then, I have some ink left on that stamp, we'll give it a stamp, and then turning it over, and I'm going to add, and what I don't realise that somehow in the process of doing this I turned it right round, and so kind of on upside down, but I don't think it really matters. So these are some more stuff that I've done some stamping on. The one with the globe and that was a retired Stampin' Up set I've just bought, and it's like a ship's log, and it's got a globe, and it's got a ship, it's got an anchor, it's got a compass, and I really liked it, and yeah, I've shoved it on there as if it could be like it's a shipping company's receipts for their cargo or something, you know. So yeah, I thought I quite liked it because it was quite a nice big size and it fitted there. So that's why I went for that. So just stick them all down. A bit of inking, of course, and I picked out a little Tracy number on the other side as well, which works, and then that one's got a date on it as well. So that's just the little finishing touches to it, and that will be it done. And I'm going to go off when I've done this and get together all the documents for the next one we make. They're going to be exactly the same as the ones that we've just used, and so that I can make me leather covered one a little bit quicker. Well, that was what I thought. It didn't turn out quicker, which is why I double speeded this section and done a voiceover, because all the best laid plans and everything I do often end up taking a lot longer than I thought I would take. So hey ho. So just add in the last one, but I think double time's all right because you can still see what I'm doing. So there it is, all done and all decorated. So I'm just going to get the other documents ready for the next one. Okay, so I've got the documents that are very much the same as I used before. I probably don't want to have that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 documents there, and just going to poke them at the top. They are clearly, this piece of leather's much bigger than I need, and actually quite pleased I can just cut that off. Now it's got these holes in it already, so I might have it so that I've got 3, so I might stick these to one side and then they'll get caught in by 2 if I'm going to reuse these holes. So I think that would work quite well. So it needs cutting down. So I'm hoping that our trimmer will cut them down. We'll see. Let's see if this will go through leather. Yeah, it sure did. So that's great. I'm gonna slice this edge off. Go over a bit more, Jez. Oh, I took that edge off there. So how wide do we want it? I want it wider than this. So chop down there. Chop down there, Jez. No idea how wide that is. There we go. I could have just done it with scissors, and I think some people have like those rotary blade things, don't they? For I think they're used in like quilting and things. So there we go. Nice bit of leather. Liking that. I like the fact that it's kind of got an oldie look to it. So let's get our pieces lined up. So it's ones that are the big ones are going to get caught in all three if we centre them. That one can go slightly to that side. This one can go nicely in the middle. I mean, they're not going to fall out anyway because they'll get caught in that one. Just conscious of the time, I'm trying to keep this under an hour. Let's go to that side a bit with that one. No, if we go in the middle, Jez, it will get both. That one in the middle. This one goes slightly to that side. No, it will match. It will match. So it's only because the holes are there already, otherwise it wouldn't make any difference. So I am going to do some that side, some this side, so that it's caught in different sides, and I think that will make it quite interesting looking with the layers. Or I could put that one across like that. There, and then we've got some nice layers going on there. Obviously it's not going to be overlapping because it's going to go to the end. I just wanted to make sure we got them where they need to be. So that's like that. So we're going to go I'm just gonna put a clip on that for the moment because I've forgotten something that I had thought about. So clip them together, being as I've painstakingly done that. So that's got to get folded I want it so that those holes, so that's them sort of made on the back, on the outside. I'm actually thinking those brads going to go through it. Maybe a bit. So to stop them going through it, bit of fabric on the outside. That might be nice. Let me think. So I come up with this idea. So I got a die out. This is the smallest circle die I've got. And I remembered I had some smaller bits of leather from those sample thingies. So I thought, oh, we'll do that. And I cut out 2 extra, which I thought I'll put that on the end of the whatever I tie it up with. I thought that I might change my mind when it comes to that bit. When I die cut it, it went through like the leather bit. I went through a couple of times, but it's really thick, this leather. So it didn't go all the way through. So I just finished it off with my scissors, but it kind of gives a little, can you see that? It's got like a little detail in it. So it looks quite nice. And I don't, yeah, my little rough cut-ins. I'm going to put that back before I lose it. So yeah, that worked. A smaller circle die I might have preferred, but that's going to be okay. So yeah, so now I need a hole so that I can put the brad through. So I'm trying to find, I've got, where's me little there, no, I've got a, oh, do you know, sometimes I don't want to use my glass mat. I've got a little cutting mat. Oh, well, I don't know where that one's disappeared to. Anyway, I bought it in a 2-pack, so I found the other one. So I was watching, Rachel uses one of these, and I was like, I've got one of them. I forgot I used it. I forgot I had it. So that should work to put a hole in. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I've got a crocodile, which would have worked. But that's quite nice because it's much smaller hole. So just eyeballing the centre. So this is what I bought before I forked out for a crocodile. And it makes holes. That one's off centre. Shall we try and be a bit more centred, Jez? Works a treat. I then bought one of those eyelet setters, you know, that you use a hammer. Yeah, I was never good at that. So it was like, well, this is okay for making holes, but no good for setting eyelets. So I gave up on that. So let me just poke these through. So then I kind of know where to put the holes. So that works. I was thinking how I was going to decorate. That works, Jez, yeah, but you want it. Oh, let's get my thing back. I knew there was a reason. There was a reason. I half think things. Well, I fully think them. And then I come to execute them and I realise I have only half thought them. So that's like that. And that'll be on the end like that, yeah. That'll work. So that is when that's got to go. So let's put a clip in there so that I can put the papers inside, and that's where the holes are going. So I have these. Sticking them up there, right to the top. another clip in there. There we go. Doesn't that look nice against the brown? Good choice for the one that's going on top there, Jez. Right, so now I need to put my hole through. I'm just wondering if actually I need a crocodile for this. Let's use the crocodile because I can see where the holes are. So that's got that stuff stuck in it. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Cooking on the gas. There we go. So that's that. All the way through to the other side. Marvellous, marvellous. So stick that through. Open that up. Stick that through. I'll say this was such a lovely find, these leather sample books. I have bought a leather coat from a second-hand store. Didn't pay very much for it. About £3. Might have been £4. It's a long leather coat. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to cut that up for journals. And I haven't done it yet. And yeah, I thought it was perfect. Right, so now I've done that. It's slightly too long at the end, but I don't think it matters. That's going to come across like that. Looking at that. I love that. Love how that's looking. Right. So let's give it. Now these are all, they're all in. All in place. I love this. I could play with this for hours. This one was already folded for a different project, but I didn't think it mattered. It doesn't matter. I might fold that over there. That naturally folds there. And I can fold that in there. There we are. Sorted. That's how we sort it. So we do that. Right, so if I want that to come about there, so fold up about there. So I'm gonna just keep going along it. It's just an acrylic stamp block. And I suppose I could go over with something else, but look, that crease has already made a mark in there. So craft a lunch there in the corner. So that's good, liking that. And then we can use our bone folder on the documents on the inside. But we can see they're coming over like that, and then we're coming over here. There. I want it to look like an old satchel, like it's an attaché case. Love it, love it, love it. and I'm managing to mark that leather, which is brilliant. And it's given me an idea now to go around the edges. And maybe go along the back here to get impression from those brads that are in there, because that would have developed over time, wouldn't it? Just a slight bit of distress in there, liking that. And so now we need a closure. Now, as I was looking for something, I found these, I've got these wax cords. So it looks a little bit like leather. And I'm not going to make another hole. I thought I could just have it going round that centre one that's already on there, a little bit shorter. And I don't really think it needs very much else. I think I did somewhere, if I can remember where, I had like a little leather label. Need to find it. There we go. Gonna just snip the end of that off. Snip. And then fold that round a couple of times. And then wind it round. And it's given me an idea to make a journal cover as well. With this. Loving how that's turned out. And then I was just thinking of sticking those two on the end like that. So I might get some feather tack for that. Just undo a few of them so that it's far away. Love it. Could put an eyelet through that to really hold it together, but I'm going to leave it. Gonna leave it. We've been long enough. So that's my little leather attaché case. So that's my original. That's the one like it that I made, and that's my leather one. So I hope you like that. I'm sure other people will make it and everybody's doing their own little twist on it, but I thoroughly enjoyed doing my second Roxy's Weekly Challenge. I'll link down below to Rachel's YouTube so you can see the original one. And yeah, and if you just search the hashtag Watch Roxy's Weekly Challenge, you'll find other examples and other challenges. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I'll have some photos over on nigezza.co.uk, and you can buy things from my Stampin' Up shop that I use today: stamps, dies, ink, what have you. Okay, bye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.